the realm of Asgard, a heavy silence enveloped the golden halls as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows that whispered of impending doom. This was no ordinary day. It was the eve of Ragnarok, the prophesied end of times. A Valkyrie in service to Odin floated among towering trees and glistening rivers, her heart laden with foreboding. A cool evening air carried whispers of ancient prophecies, mixed with the earthy scent of moss, stirring an instinct deep within her soul. Gazed upon Víðarr, son of Odin, standing alone at the edge of a cliff that overlooked Midgard below. His imposing figure radiated strength and stoicism. He was known as the Silent Avenger. With broad shoulders and a fierce brow, he embodied both a warrior's spirit and a guardian's resolve. Warriors prepared for battle amidst clanging weapons and fervent shouts. Víðarr found solace in solitude, a moment to reflect on his lineage and destiny. Sigrun continued to observe him from afar. She recalled how he had always been a quiet presence among the gods, a pillar of unwavering strength, yet seldom speaking a word. His thoughts flowed like still waters beneath a stormy sky, profound and untold. That his very silence spoke volumes about his determination to fulfill his purpose. Asgard's grand hall, Odin gathered his warriors around him. He stood tall as he shared grim prophecies that foretold Fenrir's rise, the monstrous wolf destined to bring chaos during Ragnarok itself. Odin's voice resonated through the hall like thunder as he warned them all. The wolf will rise when darkness falls. Each warrior listened intently, while their hearts trembled at what lay ahead. Víðarr felt each word resonate deeply within him. The knowledge that Fenrir would be responsible for slaying Odin surged through his veins like fire. With every heartbeat came a reminder: vengeance awaited him just beyond the horizon. He could not shy away from this fate. It coursed through him like blood. Night cloaked Asgard in its embrace. Víðarr made his way toward an ancient grove, a sacred place for those seeking reflection before combat. There he knelt amidst roots entwined, with time itself, his thoughts swirling in contemplation. Memories flooded back, moments spent with Odin under starlit skies, sharing tales of courage and honor, laughter echoing through their home during serene evenings. This sacred space where earth met sky, Víðarr embraced sorrow and strength, equally his father's legacy resting upon him like armor forged by destiny's hand. Each breath filled him with clarity, each thought sharpened his focus on avenging Odin against Fenrir. Outside this tranquil sanctuary lay chaos waiting to unfurl its wicked tendrils across realms, a tempest unleashed by Loki's treachery, soon to engulf them all in darkness, unlike anything seen before. But for now, for this fleeting moment, Víðarr remained silent amid turmoil brewing beyond sight, a sentinel poised at the brink between prophecy and action, between grief and resolute vengeance, awaiting dawn's first light when fate would finally beckon him forth into battle, against evil incarnate, the wolf Fenrir himself. The shadows deepened across Asgard. Chaos unfurled its wings like a dark storm. The sun and moon, once shining beacons in the sky, were now devoured by Skall and Hati, plunging the realms into unsettling twilight. The air thickened with tension as Ragnarok tightened its terrible grip on existence. Víðarr stood among his fellow gods, a silent sentinel amidst their frantic preparations. With every tremor of the earth beneath their feet, he felt the weight of destiny pressing upon him. Others shouted commands and rallied their courage. He remained still, his resolve unshakable, as he observed the turmoil surrounding him. Valiant warriors clashed against monstrous beings released from Loki's dark machinations. Each roar of battle echoed through the heavens, yet Víðarr's heart beat steadily within his chest. He moved with purpose through the fray, each step calculated and powerful. His massive frame easily dispatched foes that dared to cross his path, serpents thrashing amid panic, and trolls howling in desperation fell before his might. Eyes focused ahead, Víðarr noticed Odin's regal form advancing toward Fenrir's lair, the final confrontation looming ever closer. His pride welled within him for his father's bravery, even as fear gnawed at his heart like a ravenous wolf. He understood that Odin would face this monstrous being without hesitation. It was in their bloodline to confront darkness head-on. And he could not simply stand idly by, while chaos enveloped all they held dear. Moments filled with unease unfolded around him, as other gods fell to beasts bred from treachery and despair. Silent but resolute, Víðarr pushed through swirling shadows, lending strength wherever needed, lifting fallen comrades or flinging foes aside with overwhelming force. Each battle wore on longer than anticipated time, twisted in knots under pressure, as night surrounded them, a suffocating blanket obscuring hope itself. Even when faced with insurmountable odds against them all, Víðarr retained a tranquil demeanor. There was no need for words when actions spoke louder than any battle cry could hope to convey. Then came a moment frozen in time. Odin stood tall before Fenrir, a titan against a storm incarnate. A wolf towered above them, all its snarls promised doom, while destruction dripped from its fangs like venomous rain, ready to fall upon Asgard's finest protector. There felt a fire ignite within him. It flickered silently behind those unyielding eyes, locked onto that impending clash between father and foe, a dance foretold by fate itself, where death loomed like an inevitable shadow over all they had. Sound, that instant of stillness before calamity struck the calm before thunder, rumbled. Víðarr prepared himself, not only for what was coming next, but also for what must be done afterward. Vengeance awaited on paths yet unwritten. May have spiraled into chaos beyond reason, but within Víðarr burned an unwavering flame, fueled by love for family and duty, born of lineage more ancient than stars themselves, twinkling above amidst impending darkness. Silence settled after the tumultuous battles, and dread consumed Asgard. Víðarr moved forward with purpose toward Fenrir, amidst ruins left by conflict, a lone figure bound not merely by blood, but by an unbreakable bond woven through history. This was not just vengeance he sought, but a restoration of balance amidst chaos, an echo of love transcending even death itself, lingered in each breath he took as he prepared to meet his destiny head-on. The battlefield trembled beneath. A weight of destiny as Sigrun witnessed the unfolding chaos. The skies above had darkened, swallowing the last remnants of sunlight. Kal and Hati, the relentless wolves, continued their celestial chase, heralding the end of days. Panic surged like wildfire among gods and mortals, a like fear hung heavy in the air. This maelstrom, Víðarr emerged alongside his fellow warriors. Each stride he took resonated with purpose, an unspoken promise to avenge his father's fate. Battles raged on around him. He faced beasts spawned from Loki's betrayal, serpents, with glimmering scales, and trolls whose laughter echoed ominously across the land. His comrades fought valiantly, but Víðarr remained a silent force amidst the chaos, embodying strength without words. Others shouted battle cries or offered prayers to their gods. He unleashed his might against those who dared to challenge him. With each swing of his sword and every powerful strike, foes were sent sprawling into shadows where they belonged. Despite the cacophony surrounding him, the clash of metal on metal, and anguished roars echoing through time, Víðarr's thoughts remained focused on one singular vision, Fenrir looming ahead like a dark cloud ready to engulf them all. His heart beat steadily against this backdrop of turmoil, each pulse drawing nearer to vengeance. Odin confronted Fenrir at last. A hush fell over the battlefield, a reverence for what was about to unfold, and held her breath as she watched from afar. Father stood firm against the monstrous wolf, whose fur bristled with malevolence under stormy skies. It was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Time itself seemed suspended in this moment. Everyone felt at the stillness before catastrophe struck, as Odin charged forward with unparalleled courage, brandishing Gungnir, his mighty spear glittering ominously in defiance of fate. Yet there lay an unspoken truth among those gathered. They knew how this fight would end. Víðarr's heart clenched as he watched helplessly, while Fenrir unleashed its fury upon Odin, a clash between divinity and primal chaos that shook Asgard to its very core. That instant, when Fenrir's jaws closed around Odin's form, darkness seeped into Víðarr's soul like poison creeping through veins filled with rage. Surged within him like an unstoppable tide, memories flooded back unbidden. Odin's teachings imparted during quiet evenings, spent sharing wisdom under starlit skies, now turned bittersweet by impending loss. Those cherished moments ignited his resolve, the last embers keeping hope alive amid despair. With every fiber of his being consumed by sorrow, transformed into wrathful determination, Víðarr rose from where he stood frozen in shock, a reluctant witness forced into action by destiny's cruel hand, beckoning him forth toward vengeance. Other gods fell around him, brave warriors bound by fate, meeting their ends under sinister stars. Víðarr charged toward Fenrir with fire burning bright within him, a storm brewed not just outside but deep inside as well, a fierce urge, demanding justice for fallen kinship sealed forevermore beneath ancient oaths sworn long ago. So began his path towards retribution. The Silent Avenger set forth upon destiny's precipice, armed only with grief-fueled fury. His heart echoed silently, urging him onward amidst ruins left behind by Ragnarok's merciless tide. Idle Víðarr, the Silent Avenger. As the echoes of battle faded into the distance, Víðarr stood among the remnants of chaos, his heart heavy with sorrow yet burning with resolve. The ground beneath him was scarred and stained, a tapestry woven by fate's cruel hand. Him loomed Fenrir, a colossal beast imbued with dark power, its eyes glistening like embers in a dying fire. A wolf's presence exuded an oppressive chaos that thickened the air around them. Silence enveloped them both, as if time itself paused to witness this monumental clash between vengeance and despair. Every breath, Víðarr felt the weight of his father's demise pressing down upon him, a haunting reminder driving him forward into this moment. He locked his gaze onto Fenrir's terrifying visage. A wolf snarled, bearing rows of teeth sharp enough to rend flesh from bone. Yet Víðarr felt no fear. He was fueled by a potent mixture of grief and fury, a flame ignited within that would not wane until justice was served. He stepped forward deliberately, embodying purpose as he approached the beast that had robbed him of everything dear. With a swift motion, Víðarr drew forth his sword, an ancient weapon forged in creation's fires. It gleamed with an ethereal light that cut through the darkness surrounding them. His sword represented more than mere steel. It was infused with the essence of his lineage and valor passed down through generations, a culmination of Odin's strength coursing through Víðarr's veins. The two adversaries circled each other like predators assessing their quarry, each aware that only one would leave this arena alive. The tension surged palpably between them. It intertwined with whispers from fallen warriors, echoing their silent wishes for victory on this fateful day. Then they collided, a tempest unleashed as silence shattered like glass against rock. Fenrir lunged forward with unmatched ferocity, while Víðarr stood firm, countering each strike with unyielding strength honed by years spent nurturing his resolve in solitude. Every clash sent shockwaves rippling through Asgard's foundation, the earth trembling beneath their feet as they battled for survival. Víðarr maneuvered expertly around Fenrir's relentless attacks. He ducked beneath snapping jaws and leaped away from swiping claws, seeking to ensnare him like prey caught in fate's trap. Each blow exchanged resonated deeply within him, a symphony composed not only of vengeance, but also sorrow sung for lives lost too soon. That fierce struggle, where instinct guided every movement, clarity emerged amid chaos. He recalled Odin's teachings. Strength lies not merely in brute force, but in knowing when to strike. With this wisdom echoing within his mind, he feigned weakness, allowing Fenrir to think victory lay just out of reach, before launching himself into action at precisely the right moment. Raw power, igniting every muscle in his body. Víðarr executed a decisive maneuver. He sidestepped a brutal strike aimed toward his heart and twisted around to drive his sword deep into Fenrir's side. Piercing skin hardened from centuries of torment, unleashed upon gods and mortals alike. held its breath as he thrust deeper the blade, finding purchase where darkness dwelled most fiercely within its core. A roar erupted from Fenrir's throat as ancient terrors awakened by pain, long past forgotten, reverberated across realms filled with dismay at what had transpired during these final hours. Then came silence again, profound and complete, as though even nature recognized this pivotal moment, etched forever into history between hunter and hunted, reconciled once more. Fenrir collapsed slowly onto scorched earth beneath them, its massive form crumpling like shadows fleeing dawn's first light, while blood pooled around its lifeless body, staining ground touched by destiny's hand. Fenrir stood alone now, amid ruins left behind, the victor burdened, yet weighed down under swirling memories, heavy upon him like wisps carried off on unseen winds. He gazed upon what remained, not just triumph over a monstrous foe, but acknowledgement that vengeance exacted came at great cost, not solely measured in lives taken, but also love lost forevermore. Watched from her celestial vantage point high above amidst stars, twinkling softly against night's sky, a testament borne witness to sacrifice made willingly, where bonds transcended death itself tonight. Her heart echoed solemn understanding that balance had been restored amid turmoil, brought forth by God's folly. They could begin anew despite loss endured along pathways, carved deeply into time untold, which whispered stories waiting yet unwritten,